Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right back at you. Right back at you, family. Peace, love, and light. This is your brother Red Pill. Welcome to another episode of Saturn Day Live. I want to remind the family, in case you don't know and you might have forgotten, that today at 11 a.m. Eastern. We on the East Coast, baby. We are coming forward on KTL University with our class for April, featuring none other than our good brother ALKEBULAN44 on this powerful, powerful, powerful alignment day. This is id. This is the beginning. This is a solar eclipse, and this is the beginning of a new moon. So the lineup is crazy.
To this day.
Lineup is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we will be tapping in to this monumental power. We will be stamping ourselves on the universal palette and whatnot. We will be putting it down in a few hours. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Love and light to the family. Peace. Grand rising. You know what I'm talking about? Grand rising to everybody that's out there. Let me go ahead and switch on to this thing. I see you, Akibalon. Peace. All right. So hold on. Give me 1 minute, y'all. The computer, for some reason, is acting slow. This shit ain't even wake up yet. It's too early for it. You know what I'm talking about? There we go. Yes, indeed. So for anybody that wants to get the tickets, go to ktl-university.com. Shout out to all of the students who have already purchased their tickets. We will see you in a few hours. We are here to let the family know that we will be in the building. I do have my good brother Alkebalon pulling up today so we could chop it up. All right. So we will give me 1 minute. Let's go ahead and do what we always do around this time, and that will be the roll call. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Greetings, everybody. Somebody said, woo, early. Yeah. Alkebalon said on the eclipse to do something that you don't necessarily do. Do something that's outside of your comfort zone. And for me, that will be doing a broadcast early in the day, because that's definitely something that I don't do. That's something that I haven't done. And that's something that I have to actually push myself to do. So here we are. All right. Here we are trying out this early rising broadcast to see where it gets us. But salute to everybody that's on the wake up. You know what I mean? Especially if you're on the West Coast, you're a beast. You know what I'm saying? Sun ain't even out and whatnot. But greetings to everyone. Royal Rising. It only feels right that, on a day such as this, we are able to start this day off with the family rather than end the day, because, ending the day has its perks and everything. But starting the day is monumental as well. You know what I mean? The intention is to help program the family with information, and the intention is to program the family with some pointers, you know what I mean, and some steps to take. Even if you don't wind up in the class and whatnot, we still want to charge you up for the day and give you some insight as to the power of the day and how to take full advantage of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, hold on. This thing is, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me do something. Let me empty this trash on the computer. It may be slowing down. Give me 1 minute. Boom. Yes, I want to empty the trash. Let's see if that works. Then let's close Safari. Boop. Okay. So yeah, we good. We back. We in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Salute. Let's go ahead and do the roll call though. I see y'all pulling up. You know what I mean? I definitely see y'all pulling up. I see more y'all than I even expected on this rising, but that's what's up. All right. So we got the 704 in the building. That's NC for anybody that's wondering. All right. How long is the class? I think the maximum that we're gonna go on today will be about 3 hours. You feel me? About 3 hours and whatnot. I'm hosting and my good brother is teaching and whatnot. So this is the beginning of the cycle of KTL University classes and whatnot. We're striving to do 2 classes a month. And then as we get our feet wet and we tighten things up, we're actually going to be doing once a week. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing once a week. We'll be bringing different teachers and whatnot into the roster. We'll have a full curriculum and we'll have some guest teachers, but we also will be speaking and teaching brother Red Pill, brother Blue Pill, and I'm working on some wild cards, but I'll keep y'all updated as to that. You know what I mean? From the KTL, coming out of the KTL camp. But I don't want to speak too much ahead of myself, but I'll let y'all know. I will let y'all know. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me refresh my page and let me. All right, there we go. Okay, we got SC in the house. SC in the house. We got Detroit in the building. We got Australia in the building. You know what I'm talking about? You've been busy with a lot of work. You've been slacking on tapping in. Man, don't even worry about it. When we break down the energy of what this moon represents, it's going to speak to what a lot of people have been experiencing and going through and whatnot. You feel me? Like the power of this eclipse and the power of this moon explains a lot. You know what I mean? The intensities that many people have experienced in throughout the month. You know what I mean? Because as you know, the shadow of it is with us it's with us even before it appears and whatnot. So there's a lot of shakeups. There's been a lot of shakeups in people's personal lives. There's been a lot of shakeups in just life in general. So, don't take that shit personal. It's not you. Okay. It's really not you. Let me see something. How's the audio before we even begin? Let me know how the audio is. Are we crispy? Do you hear the sound effects and all of that? Let me see. Okay. Let me see. All right, we good. You said crispy? Okay, we good. We good. All right. All right. Chicago in the building by way of the BX. I see you. I see you. Jamaica's in the house. Bethlehem is in the building. Shout out to Bethlehem. All right. 313 Detroit. What up, though? I see you. Okay. DMV, all right. P City, VA. Park Place, Norfolk, VA. Jersey in the building. Okay, okay. All right. Salute to everybody. VA in the building, 757. Mm-hmm. All right, all right. That's what's up. All right. Dallas. Shout out to Dallas. Peace to Dallas. Peace to Dallas, Fort Worth. Peace to Houston. Peace to San Antonio. Everybody in that whole Texas area. Salute. Peace to Austin. You niggas is in Austin with Elon Musk. Salute to y'all. North Carolina, as always. You dig? Sag Nasty in the house. North Philly, Badlands. All right. We see you, Philly. 843 South Cac, Arlington. Oh, okay. Arlington coming through. I see you, Arlington. That's what's up. Shout out to all of the ganja farmers. Yeah, send me something. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all of y'all. That's what's up. B Moreland. I see you, B Moreland. Peace, love, and light. So as I see the families in the building, Charleston, Charlestown, beautiful, beautiful Charleston, man. Shout out to Charleston. Angel Oaks. Remember, you know that you've been there, you visited Angel Oaks. Angel Oaks. Charleston is a very spiritual place. I was able to pass through there, and the energy was very, very, very strong in Charlestown, especially down there by the dock, by the bay, and everything, by the water. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's out there. You feels me? But yeah, here we go. So like I said, without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring our guest for this morning, this rising. All right. Our guest speaker, our teacher for today's class, our brother, your brother, who did a monumental job last night with Blue Pillar on the podcast, What's the Science? But we'll get into that. Without any further ado, y'all, let me open up the floor for our good brother, ALKEBULAN44.
Peace to the family. Peace.
Peace, peace.
You know,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So, like, of course, this is a very monumental day. Like I said, I've done my due diligence. First of all, before I go in, how are you doing, Red? How's everything going, bro?
Oh man, everything is going great, my good brother. I've been up very early, just working on making sure everything is in alignment. You know what I mean? This is a very beautiful day for me. So yeah,
No
it's
doubt.
all good.
Yeah. So, today is a very celestial day. You know, as I told the family, I've been doing my due diligence, to tap into some information. It's a class, like Red said, so we're gonna break it down and we're gonna introduce it by category, because there's so much information to give, but I gotta break it up, so that way, at the end it could all make sense and come back full circle, So with this solar eclipse taking place in this new moon, with me, and of course, there's a method to the madness. I got the shades on, because the etymology of the word illustrious is bright. You know what I'm saying? So what you're seeing is, the law of correspondence in real time. I'm demonstrating all black, during a black moon, during a
Right,
solar eclipse. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I always adhere to, what the cosmic narrative is presenting to us, and I imitate that in real time in order to phase lock into the harmonic resonance of the universe,
That's
and
right.
by way of you tap into higher levels of consciousness. So I got the shades, the all black, and we ready to lock in, ready to go in.
They said you came through like Morpheus up in this thing.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Yeah. That's a perfect analogy. You know what I mean? Again, I'm feeling very nostalgic, very illustrious. I took my gold water this rising, my lion's mane,
Okay, okay. You tapped
and
in.
I'm feeling good. So yeah, it's gonna be a monumental class.
Yes, it will be. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Destiny in the building. I see you. Man, briefly before we get into anything, let's talk about last night's episode with my good brother Abiku. You know what I mean? Abiku Bay. How was that for you? How was that experience on What's the Science?
Uh Super monumental. I mean, because of the fact that we were working and speaking with somebody who actually built something physically that the world could utilize, that can change the world overnight. And typically we get a lot of people who we interview, who've done monumental things. This individual had an actual device, that used water for power. That was
Wow.
something for me as far as the first time actually seeing not only somebody but somebody of our culture, demonstrate that. So being able to even do a tennis match, a back and forth with somebody like that at that caliber was very fulfilling to me. And just again, what I do outside of teaching, I'm in school for mechatronic engineering. So the type of language he was speaking, I was very much familiar with. He was talking about teachers like Eric Dollard and Victor Schwarzberger, all of these individuals I've studied for years, so it was refreshing, being able to have that type of conversation, and also to have it with somebody who, is a Black inventor, right? He actually invented
Right.
something, so that was fulfilling for me. And I'm looking forward for us to really support that brother and, put him on a pedestal to where he can really shine his light, and give, the family something that is super duper important for our livelihood. You know what I mean? So it was a dope interview. I loved it. It was a dope interview.
And I love being a fly on the wall, like being in the audience and taking notes and whatnot, just seeing the interaction between you two brothers. Clearly y'all have adapted a lexicon, a nomenclature that many people don't have by the use of certain words and terms. And it's beautiful because, words are power, words create worlds. So by utilizing these words and whatnot, it's almost like you are creating new realities when you speak and whatnot, even coming all the way down to the books that the brother was recommending and the different authors or the different scientists. And I've often said, in jest and whatnot, where are the inventors? Where are the inventors? Why aren't our people, reflecting the genius that we saw displayed in the 1800s, right? When there were less distraction, you didn't have Hollywood, radio, all of the stimuli to take people out of their creative spaces and whatnot, and our people were creating things like the traffic light, the elevator shaft, so many things, you know what I mean? So to see the creation only coming out of places like Silicon Valley and, all around the world, but it's not reflecting in our community, I always was like, what's that about? So to
Right.
see the good brother, come forward with such a disrupting technology, such a simple invention, yet and still so complex. It really helped restore some faith. I was blown away.
Right. And can you only imagine how many of us like that are out there? And you could hear the sentiment in his voice. There was a level of frustration, because when it actually comes to being hands-on, we tend to be a little resistant with it. We get
Yes.
comfortable, like I said, with reading books and studying the information because it feels good. We get caught into feel goodism a lot, but when it then comes to actually demonstrating and applying the information that we've been taking in, we feel a little resistant. So I could feel it. I could hear it in the brother's tone, his level of frustration. But being on What's the Science and on our platform on the podcast, I could tell he had a sense of relief. He done stumbled upon some brothers, and of course he's always known Blue, and you too, Red, but he stumbled upon some brothers, that was willing to help him, put him on a
Right.
platform that not only allows him to again educate the family about what he does, but also too moving forward, put together workshops and things of that nature that's going to allow him to really maximize his output.
Right.
So
Right.
I like I said at the end of the podcast, he was excited. Your brother, he was ready to build everything. You know what I mean? Like he was ready to
Right.
put the,
Right.
and then he started getting in his bag, and what's the word I'm looking for? Damn. He was revealing. He was revealing a lot of technologies that he has in the bag. He talked
Right.
about building. I can't remember exactly what he said, but pretty much, a situation in a particular environment where melanated people are that won't allow basically lead in that environment by way of guns. So as
Yeah,
opposed to
you were talking about with the hands and everything. That
with
was
the hand,
fire.
yeah,
Whew.
that was dope. But I'm thinking like, don't go too much in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
you know,
right.
as much as we got the family watching, we also got the ops too. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Right.
know, it's important, and I love it. You know, so yeah, that's I'm super looking forward to you working with that brother and seeing what else he got.
Now that's definitely a fact. Like when I hear Brother Abiku, I think about Hank Rising. You
Yeah.
feel me? Hank Rising son, another scientist, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Another mad scientist in
Hmm.
our community, another genius. I think about Lester Lovin, you
Lester Love.
know, I think about KT the arch degree, you feel
E.
me?
Yeah.
I think about you know what I mean? And once again, I'm calling for the creation. I'm willing it into existence, especially on days like this. I'm speaking it into power.
Mhm.
The creation of wet labs. You
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, the creation of wet labs,
Yeah.
budgets that reflect R&D, research and development. You feel me?
Mhm.
Being able to relocate the scientists that are amongst us in our community, free them from the obligations of the just over broke, the job, send them to places like Puerto Rico, the islands and whatnot, get them on the grid, and sustain them and let them create. you
Man.
know and
Yeah.
and for some of us who are monetary minded, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you have to incentivize investors and whatnot. You could find yourself as a venture capitalist or an angel investor, or early stage, a lean investor in these technologies, because of course, if it's going to be commercialized, it's going to deal with economics and and return and whatnot. So it's a win-win on both sides.
That's a fact. And it even boils down to, having individuals like us with the specific lexicon, not only of course, the intellect about some of these things that the brother was speaking about yesterday, but also the verbiage, the articulation to be able to walk into some of these doors and sit down with these individuals and constructively put together a plan, that will, adhere to the ears of people who are in these type of fields, right? So, you
Yes.
know, said being able to build out, laboratories and go overseas and speak to individuals internationally, you know put together a budget. That's really what we're missing. We're missing the scientific aspect of our demonstration of who we are as a people. We got the rituals down through ceremony, through dance, through new moon rituals, full moon rituals. We wear the crystals. We got the books. We got the meditation down. All of these things, but now it's about actually building out an industry, multi-trillion-dollar industry, where we can house scientific minds, like myself, KT, Lester Lovin, Hank Rising, all these individuals, where we can come together as a collective and really put something together that's monumental, that'll really define what our legacy represents, in due time. So, I'm just excited about that, bill last night, and I
Right.
feel like that was really a checkpoint, on this marathon that we're running, to really represent the point where now we take that type of information and really begin to physically build things out that's going to outlive our kids. So
Yes, definitely. We have a brother in the chat, brother Rob Moses. He's also a self-proclaimed inventor. Salute to you, elder.
mm,
Be patient. We definitely are going to contact you and see what it is that you are offering. Um,
it,
you know, Go ahead.
No, just real quick, I wanted to say that too. It's an invitation too. So those individuals who are electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, who have a background in this type of stuff, definitely reach out. Shoot me a DM, blue, red. You know, because we're looking for these scientists. We all know that they're out there in the community, you know, but it's just about, you know, being aware of platforms that is offering the invitation and invite for individuals like you guys to really, you know, maximize your talents and your skill sets. So, you know, it's an open invitation. You know, of course, you know, those who've been following me know me and Blue got the agency that we put together called NAGA, National Asiatic Galactic Association, which is literally like a research team, but also too a team of scientists, you know, a team of mathematicians, a team of engineers, you know, again, dabbling into the sciences. So, you know, that's the
Right.
basic agency. And you know, again, reach out if that's something that you're interested in, for sure.
Right, definitely. You know, and I feel that the merger, because there is a financial evolution taking place. You know, it would be facetious of me to not acknowledge what Earn Your Leisure is over there doing, to not acknowledge the fact that I'm seeing a rise in potential, right? The potential of angel investors who look like us, and you know, who can be pitched to. You know, I'm actually seeing that take place all around us. You know what I mean? Especially if I weigh out what it was 4 or 5 years ago, there is a rise of potential in our community. Not to say that this is the end all be all, or that I'm putting all of my eggs in that basket, but I'm
Mhm.
saying that the probabilities, the potentiality of, you know, investors and people who would be able to do some of the things that need to be done is taking place. It's forming around us. It's
Right,
forming around us.
right. And you know, it'll eventually come together. You know, we're seeing it. You know, we're seeing it happen in real
Yes.
time. Oh, it's a slow cook, you know, but
Yes.
eventually down the line, you know, we'll be, you know, looking up to, Megatron, you know, a whole collegiate of Avengers, superhumans,
Right.
you know, and, you know, who really have, you know, a very high level of intellect that represent us and that look like us, you know. So I'm excited for the future, you
Right.
know. I want to eventually start building out planets, and you know, it gets crazy where my mentality goes, but you know,
Like the brother said, it's about thinking big at the end of the day, not small. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so you be surprised. It's so many things that I revisit that I was talking about 10 years ago. And I'm like, yo, I'm glad that I was in my bag. And when I was talking, I had the audacity to talk big, because when I look back on it, I'm like, shit, that ain't that big now. You
right,
know what I mean? Like, I
yeah,
when I said it, I was like, "Ooh, you out of you jumping out your britches." But when I look back on it 10 years later, it wasn't that big. So it's like, think about when you talk your, you know what I mean, when you in your bag right now, what is 2030 gonna look like? You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
how far advanced, how far down the line are we gonna be? So yeah, talk big, you know what I mean? Like it's so many things that, like you said, designing planets. There's an app for that. You know what I mean? Like, that's really not far reaching at the end of the day.
yeah, you know, and that it's not. You know, I think that's what we got to begin to do too. Is just think big. You know, life is, you know, we like to think very practical and realistic, but at the end of the day, we live in a holographic simulation, a universe that acquiesces to your command. You know, it has to. You know, that's how the universe continues to upgrade itself. So if you're putting out big boy ideas, you know, the universe is, you know, cheering for that, clapping for that. You know, it
Yes.
wants that because it wants a different level of information to upgrade itself so that it can continue to reflect back to you opportunities and experiences that is going to help you get to where you go. So when you finally get there, you've dragged on millions of other people behind you. And with that emotion, now we're thinking 20, 30, 40, 50 years ahead from there. So it's just a continuation of a progress that we got to move in reference to a universal algorithm. And once we
Facts.
continue to be in step with that algorithm, we'll always be ahead of the game, you know. And we got to just, you know, get out of living day by day per se survival mode, try to be a little more self-sufficient, you know. Of course, work our 9 to 5, things of that nature that takes care of the bills, the family, but really begin to speak things into existence. Whatever you desire, whatever you want to do in life, start demonstrating that in real time. If it's something that anything, just I ain't gonna point anything out specific, but anything that you want to do, just begin to do it. And like I said, the universe has to allow that to happen. So,
Man, how many M's did Abiku say we could generate on a daily basis with
I want to
water hydro-powered cars?
I want to say he said 28 million.
He said
20,
28. I thought he said 128 million. I don't. Where's my number? People in the chat who heard that last night.
did he say?
He threw some good numbers out there. You
Yeah,
know,
128 million. It don't even, you know what I mean?
that shit compounds and adds up. You feel me?
Yeah,
If you're talking
yeah,
90 days and whatnot. Look,
yeah.
for everybody in the audience who might have missed it last night and be like, what they talking about? We brought a scientist from our network onto the platform who has water powered engines or hydro powered cars. Not an idea, not something that he's thinking about. He's already traveled across America. He's documented it. It's on his YouTube and whatnot. So we're not talking about electric cars, and we're not talking about petrol, oil, fuel cars. We're talking about water,
Water. Yeah, yeah.
agua. And the
Hmm.
brother reiterated and said that this earth is in abundance. Do not fall for the trickery of the pundits and the talking heads that have us thinking in scarcity, like fucking water finna run out, because it's not.
Right, right,
Hold
right.
on. When you think like that, when you think like that, it usurps your creativeness. You know what I mean? So one of the first things that we could do as a people, or we could do, yes, hydrogen. One of the first things that we could do is to begin to switch our mentality into one of more abundance, and to know that everything that we need is already being provided.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And even the concept of the lack of abundance, I mean, that's a monetary gain for individuals who's looking to monetize off the illusion of a lack of abundance. So when you're telling people that there's a shortage on food, there's a shortage on oil, there's a shortage on gold. The planet itself makes oil, the planet itself makes gold. I mean, I just put up a post 2 or 3 days ago about meteorites delivering these minerals to the planet.
Facts.
You see meteorites going off the last couple of days. So, I mean, everything is abundant. But again, of course, you got, like I said, a corporation, who's established themselves on original land, and built out a company to where they utilize the illusion of a lack of resources in order to
Right.
monetize it, because it brings the demand up. If you think in your mind that you're lacking on something in general, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
uh, that's something that we gotta truly understand. I mean, we live in an abundant universe. So,
It's all marketing schemes. You know what I'm talking about? It is all marketing schemes. So if you haven't seen that episode, do your due diligence and go back into the archives. It was last night. If you're not subscribed to this channel to receive notifications every time we go live and we do these broadcasts, do yourself a favor and just hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Let's feed the algorithm. We are here in the early rising of a monumental day in history. This day, this lineup today, April 30th. This is the Black Moon. I'm finna jump in all black. If we didn't have problems with copyright issues, I would play some motherfucking Buckshot and Evil D on these niggas. I would play some goddamn Bucktown. I would play me some Black Moon, but play it in your head. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
And it's the Black Moon and it's the solar eclipse. Now, one of the things that you said on the last show that we did, because I was questioning, I'm like, yo, what do we do today? What do we do today? How do you
right,
tap into the power of the eclipse? And you like, yo, do something that's outside of your comfort zone. And I'm like, oh, okay. So here we are, early in the rising. I'm not a morning person. I don't go live in the rising and things of that nature. That's not something that I necessarily do. Even the simple fact that we're doing class at 11 a.m. is outside of the ordinary.
Right.
So I was like, last night after the broadcast, I was finna go live around midnight. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just wait for the rise, and I'm gonna do something that I haven't done before because it's not comfortable, but I'm gonna just push myself to do it. Can you assist the audience and the fam that's out there in the network and whatnot? What are some of the things that one can do today to maximize off of the energy that this window that we're in holds?
Right. Well, so it's relative to, your own individual reality. So say, if you tend to eat, a lot, the frequency of the amount of time you eat and spend on eating is very massive, uh, lessen the amount of food that you eat, which would be technically uncomfortable for you because your comfortability is eating a lot, right? So lessen the amount of food that you intake today. And that's in general, that's for everybody, because of course you want the physical body to be, light as a feather. So that way, the matter within the body is naturally fashioned, in a way to basically allow the light that's coming through today to be biologically embeddable, right? So, also just a state of uncomfortability by way of, I've always used this example. If like speaking in the public is something that you're uncomfortable doing during a solar eclipse, what you want to do is public speak.
Right,
Fasting, just, fasting, like I said, lightening up on the food. If that's uncomfortable for you, if uncomfortability for you is turning off the TV all day, keeping the TV literally off all day. If that's uncomfortable for you, that's what you want to do. Staying out your phone all day, challenge yourself. See if you can go without going on social media. You know what I'm saying? Something as small as that. But like I said, it's all relative, and we all know our strengths and weaknesses. But
right,
you do something that's completely uncomfortable for you. It's not a blanket statement. It's just relative to in your own personal reality. What is your comfort zone? During the solar eclipse, you want to remove yourself out of that comfort zone by doing the complete opposite. So like I told the family, public speaking for me and teaching is fairly new, right? I've been studying for over 10 years. And before I even jumped on any platform, I studied for over 10 years. So now when I'm in full demonstration and the eyes are on me, that is a little uncomfortable for me,
right,
and I'm still getting accustomed and used to it. And it's fulfilling because I'm starting to see myself get a little more comfortable in doing it as well. I'm starting to find my pocket,
right,
but while a solar eclipse is taking place, I'm going to teach because, like I said, that's a level of uncomfortability for me. And a solar eclipse, more specifically, is what you call a dielectric portal. So it accelerates you, by you alchemizing the darkness and transforming that into light by way of being uncomfortable in, a situation during a solar eclipse. So you're facing the darkness, you're facing the dark side. And by doing that, when you get out on the other side of the eclipse, you're going to notice a certain level of abundance coming your way, based on, whatever intentions that you put out, in the universe the last couple of weeks. So again, it's all relative. We all know our strengths and weaknesses, and it's just about going against the grain and doing something that you technically wouldn't do. If running outside is uncomfortable for you, go outside and take a jog around the block. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Working out, lifting weights in general, going outside, putting your bare feet in the grass, um, you know, um, wearing something that, you may deem unfit for you because you think people are looking at you a certain way. Put it on, and go out to the grocery store, just put yourself in a state of uncomfortability. And
right,
like I said, the body itself is a crystal and it's piezoelectric, and anything that's piezoelectric, when you apply stress and compression to it, it generates a charge. So by you demonstrating a level of stress today and compression, you're quite literally producing a charge, which again is going to accelerate you through the portal. And once you come out on the other side, you know, you'll definitely notice a change in your reality for sure.
Yes, indeed, definitely. Real quick, commercial time.
To this day. To this day.
In about 45 minutes on KTL University, we're going to be having a Zoom class. And this good brother right here, ALKEBULAN, will be presenting a high-level conversation, pure metaphysics and science, entitled The Illustrious Illumination, hosted by good brother Red Pill. And yeah, we look forward to having y'all in the building. We getting right to the teaching. We're gonna go upstairs with it. You know what I mean? We're gonna deliver some information. And like the good brother is saying, on a day such as this, when you know the cosmos and the cosmic energies are very strong and whatnot, this is the opportune time to get downloaded with some good information to you know just further enhance each one of us that are on this path of enlightenment, so we could tap into our illustrious illumination, you know, and shine, you know what I mean? And definitely shine, because at the end of the day, you know, we are all on our individual paths. So we all have a individual end game, you know what I mean? We all are in this thing for our own personal reasons. But ultimately, the best thing that we can each one do is to shine. I shine, you shine. The best thing that we can do is to begin to wake up, you know, our internal, you know, to get past some of the internal things that may have dimmed our light, that may have held us down and whatnot. What this eclipse represents, this in Taurus. Taurus is materialism. Taurus is home. Taurus is finances, economics, and things of that nature. You know, there's a focus that needs to begin to take place. You know, a lot of people have been feeling pressure over the last few weeks, over the last few months. A lot of people have been feeling stuck. A lot of people have been feeling uncertainties. A lot of people have been like, yo, what's the next step and whatnot? That's all this energy that's been, you know, speaking to you and whatnot. So this is definitely a time of reflection, you know, introspection and whatnot. This is not really a time of manifestation per se. This is more so a time of, like the good brother said, just doing things outside of your comfort zone. You know, this is, yeah, you know, this is a time for love and relationships and whatnot. Maybe new love, maybe strengthening the love that you already have and things of that nature. So if you do have a loved one, you may want to do a romantic dinner. You know what I mean? You may want to do a picnic and whatnot. You feel me? You may want to do a pop-up lunch, you know, things of that nature, you know, get some flowers, you know, if you adore her, Dior her.
And what I want to add too, you know, because we can get all fly and saucy, you know, with the lexicon, you know, and get deep with the science as far as what, you know, this day represents. But what I want to do, I want to read this little excerpt real quick, you know, in this article, just to give people, you know, a general basis of what today brings. But, you know, it says on April 30th, the very first eclipse of 2022 will arrive to shake things up and ring in the start of the eclipse season. The new moon partial solar eclipse in Taurus is an intense one, but intensity doesn't always equate to negativity. Each of the four eclipses of 2022 will be in either Taurus or Scorpio. Something is trying to plant roots in our life and bring in a new chapter of beauty, wealth, stability, and growth, but not without something else buried deep beneath the surface being let go, released, or left behind, says Norse astrologer at Girl in Her Moon. The eclipse season offers us the opportunity to understand how we build value in our lives and what we can do to bring further stability, enjoyment, and pleasure into our experience. We'll feel an overwhelming sense of a need for release. Listen to it. That way, Norse says we can allow our roots to be healthy and our flowers to bloom as the eclipse continues to affect us. So, okay, and then one more little excerpt. It says, Maddie Murphy, co-founder of the Cosmic RX, notes that this new moon solar eclipse occurs close to the North Node, which means the changes we'll experience should feel positive and easier than we may expect. It's as if you may finally have clarity in how you're growing, improving, and up leveling your life, she says. And that's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So that's
Um, what I'm doing is I'm journaling, I'm writing things down in my journal and, just making sure that I
mhm,
don't, because you could fit, it's so much going on in people's lives. There's so much going on every day. Like next week feels like a month later, so many things. So you want to capture, you want to crystallize the times. You want to take an assessment, take an inventory of your growth and development and your journey and whatnot. Keep in mind we're just in the second quarter, we're in spring and whatnot, summer's around the corner, but this eclipse jump starts the rest, it's going to define the rest of 2022 and things
facts,
of that nature. So
facts.
spend your time wisely, spend your
Yeah.
time wisely.
In the solar eclipse, it says, it begins at 2:45 Eastern Standard Time and it peaks at 4:41 p.m. So, of course, there's those 44s. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, it says you can watch the partial solar eclipse of April 30th beginning at do, 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 do. Yeah, so it says the solar eclipse will begin at 2:45 p.m. Eastern, when it will first be visible to sky watchers in the far southern eastern Pacific near the coast of Antarctica. The maximum eclipse will happen a couple of hours later at 4:41 p.m. before the ending at 6:37 p.m. So,
Mm.
you know, those are your time scales, and it's good because we start the class, Eastern time at 11, and ironically enough, we may end right when the solar eclipse begins at 2:45. So, not
Right,
to put
right.
it per se, but I'm just kind of lining up the coordinates, and seeing how it plays out. But yeah, for the family, today is a very important day. Like Red said, we're getting up in the rising, and coming online and speaking, which is something that technically we wouldn't do but to be quite honest, it feels good, because I'm a night person. So being up this rising, actually teaching, it feels better. I feel lighter. Like I
Right,
feel, I feel like it's flowing easy. The words are coming. Like I like the
right.
fact demonstrating the class early, you know, it's almost like soul food. It's the first thing that you ingest prior to beginning your day, and then when you leave out the lecture, that lecture continues to keep playing in your mind. So it's an amazing,
It's a
amazing.
charge.
Yeah, it's a charge. It's a
It's a
charge.
charge, and
Right.
you keep that charge. I'm in Atlanta, so Mama Pill has an event later.
Mm,
It's actually in alignment when we start. She'll be starting. She's in the West End at a spa, and she's gonna be doing. There's a whole day at the spa treatments. Massages. She's gonna be teaching for about 3 hours. But she's a Taurus. Her sign is in Taurus,
mm,
so this is the Taurus new moon. So it's
mhm,
what I mean. Like the energy is very strong. She'll be joined by Sister Soleil and about 10 other sisters.
mm.
And, I'm just going to immerse myself in that type of energy after I get the downloads, a little bit of self care. You feel me? That's very important, you know,
Absolute.
very
Yeah.
important. Brother Youssef said it's not recommended to stare at the eclipse. Said you can go crazy. Can you take a quick glimpse at it? You might not be able to see the eclipse based off of, unless you're in Antarctica and other places. This more so has to do with the energy that's already here. Like I pointed out, it arrived before the eclipse. I've been feeling this energy for about 2 weeks already. And
Right.
the shadow of it will last after the eclipse. So it's about really being in the moment rather
Yeah.
than laying down and watching an eclipse. If you want to go online and view it, it's all good. You know what I mean? I can't tell you what to do and what not to do. Um, I won't be staring at it.
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah, I'm gonna be in its power though. I'm gonna be nestled safely in the power of it. That's where I'll be.
And
Will
you
the
know,
Mhm,
no, I was just gonna veg you back over what you were
of
saying.
course.
Basically, yeah, you don't even have to necessarily see it. And see people in their mind, they feel like they gotta physically see the eclipse to have an effect on them.
Right.
Um, True, like Red said, you're embodying the energy that the eclipse is, giving up. So those who can see it, good for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all good, fine and good. Those individuals may not even know how to, necessarily utilize this energy. For them, it's just a phenomena that they can physically see and record in their memory banks, and tell their kids and take pictures and things of that nature. But we're actually utilizing this energy biologically and acquiescing to nature, because that's the highest form of technology on this planet. So
Right.
seeing the eclipse isn't necessarily the important piece. It's just about adhering to the local celestial geometry that's taking place by way of, again, we got a black moon, we got a solar eclipse. I got black shades on, I got a black jacket, I got a black shirt on. That's the law of correspondence. So when you
Right.
do phase lock with the universal laws of the universe and fall right into rhythm to what's going on outside of you, and that's what the solar eclipse and the black moon. So
Right. Sister Joyce wants to know, do melanated people really need to wear sunscreen?
absolutely not. Melanin
Hell
is our
to no.
no.
Coconut oil.
Now, a lot of our people's melanin, I don't even like to say not activated per se, but it's not functioning to its optimal because we're living in a condition, in a situation that is not conducive to our nature. So, we're eating certain foods that's making our body toxic. We're not getting enough sun. A lot of us don't even like being outside when it's hot, and that's a testament to us being outside of our nature, our
Right.
minds, so, you know, um, to answer her question, no, like we don't necessarily need to wear sunscreen at all, but we need to strengthen the melanin that we do have so that it can, not only protect the DNA from being mutated, but also to enhance us, as a species. So no, melanin is the our sunscreen.
Yeah, and I would advise to be able to absorb the UV rays, that
Mm-hmm.
early rising sun,
Mm-hmm.
that red flare and the yellow flares and whatnot. I would highly advise if you could get up when the sun is rising or between the hours of like 7 to 9 and whatnot, and just sunbathe, soak it up, do a little bit of sun gazing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely help charge your batteries. But
Right.
no, you do not need what these people have. It has cancer causing properties. Yeah, you don't want to
No.
get into that trick bag.
Right, and specifically too, the UV light is what you want to get for the vitamin D. UV light, because the UV light is what converts cholesterol in the body to vitamin D. So um, infrared light is what you want as far as stimulating the plasma in the body, structuring the waters in the body to raise your capacitance. So that your energy field is a lot more stronger, right? Your
Right.
radiance, and yeah, so those are key features of the sun itself that we need to adhere to. And again, it's all about just listening to the cosmos and doing what we naturally do as a people.
I'm gonna give you a cheat code too for y'all. When I go to Miami, when I go to Florida, it's salt water, right? I hop in, salt water, I hop out, coconut oil or some shea butter, but not the thickness of the shea butter, more say like some coconut oil, and then I just lay in the sun. It's like shrimp on a Barbie. You feel me? Because it
Man.
it darkens me in a matter, I promise you, in an hour, I'm 2 shades darker.
Mm-hmm.
Two
Mm-hmm.
shades darker. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? And there's no sunburn involved. There's no, I don't deal with all, I don't have those situations that the other people of a lighter pigmentation have. So that's just me, you know what I mean? But I don't know how it works for everybody, but that's definitely how it works for me. That salt water is your sunscreen.
Oh yeah, that's something different. Yeah, yeah. I can attest to that for sure. Plenty of times. You know, being out in Florida, Cocoa Beach, you know, Sarasota Beach, being out on that beach, you know, stepping on those crystals and that sand, you know, being out in that water. I
Right.
mean, nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? That's to me, that's almost like like you said, a Tesla charge. That's a Tesla station. That's where you go to charge up, to be
Right.
quite beach.
Yes. Jogging. I used to live right there on 20th and Lincoln, right there in Miami on South Beach back in the days. And I would go jogging on the beach. And the piezoelectricity from basically jogging on that sand is the energy that was coming through the soles of my feet. I cannot, because you can't go jogging with sneakers or socks on the sand. That's defeating the purpose. You go
Right.
barefoot, you go jogging, you work up that sweat, you hit the water, that natural water, boom. And my days used to be magical as a result of that.
Oh, that's a fact. Like I said, I can attest to it for sure. And family, yeah, make sure you know when you're outside, if you're in the grass, sand, soil, you know, rock, whatever, like make sure you try to at least spend about 15 minutes a day if you can with no shoes on, no socks, barefoot, to charge up that body and to pull the inflammation through the feet out of the body. A lot of us suffer from high blood pressure, um, you know, uh, um, all type of ailments. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, want to do the basics, and start there. And a lot of healing will come from not only physically, but more too from a mental aspect as
Mental
well. So,
aspect. Yes, yes. That's why they tell people who are going through the mental issues and whatnot, hit the beach, my genius. You know what I mean? Get in that water,
but
go to mama, you know what I mean? Get in that water and just relax. You feel me? Let that shit work on you, because when you get out of the water, I don't know too many people who went in the water non-manic and came out that bitch on some manic shit. It's usually the opposite. Somebody
right.
asks, do you think the energy in Miami is connected to the Bermuda Triangle energy? And before you answer, I just want to touch on it. When I went to Puerto Rico, we went to San Juan in 2020, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
We flew over that shit, right?
Hmm.
And I promise you, like yo, fam, that
Hmm.
energy, we was all the way up in the plane, and I felt the energy permeating through the plane to the point where I was
Yeah,
getting shook. You know what I
oh,
mean?
yeah, that's
Um, there's reports that you could Google and whatnot that speak of pieces of Africa being found underneath Florida and Georgia and Alabama for that matter. When you're in Miami, you feel like you're on a tropical island. Like sometimes I used to wake up and I would forget that I was in what is called mainland America. I'm like, this is not mainland America. I came from where there was roaches. I got lizards in the crib now. Like, it's different. It
yeah.
feels different. The flora, the fauna, they have flora and fauna this native to the motherland. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm in total agreement that Bermuda Triangle, that Atlantis energy is very, very strong in Miami.
Yeah, I would say so too. Um, See, I've been everywhere in Florida but Miami. You know what I'm saying? That's somewhere that I haven't been yet.
Oh no, we
y-
gotta set you up then. I
yeah,
get you
no,
something
yeah,
popping.
that's definitely done. Of course, Orlando, Sarasota, Cocoa, Beach, you know, Fort Lauderdale, all of these, but I
Right.
have as far as Miami itself, no, but that's something that I want to experience because everybody says that it's very tropical.
Right.
And
The water, I don't mean to cut your wisdom. The water, because if you touch North Hollywood and Hollywood Beach and Fort Lauderdale, and if you go all the way down to American Beach, I would say that water is better.
Mm,
I'm not pushing Miami more so for the water, but more so for the experience just on the grid, just to clarify things.
the experience on the actual grid, yeah. And you know,
Oh,
it's crazy.
real quick, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Yes, the replay will be available for anybody who is a ticket holder. It will be available for perpetuity. That means forever. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's crazy because I noticed that from Florida to California, like the weather is different. Like I agree more with the Florida environment in regards to just the humidity, and because there is no humidity really in Florida. It's almost like a breeze. It's like
Cool
like you
breeze.
said, it's like it's
Tropical breeze.
island, yeah. Like a Cali is kind of they have their ups and downs, but Florida is a little different. The wind hits different, like everything. Like it's just it's a different type of vibe. So um and it's crazy. It's a different type of vibe, but yeah, I wanted to add that because I noticed the difference. So maybe that too may play a role with Florida being not only a peninsula, but it's right there by the Bermuda Triangle. Florida is kind of like an island. It's just attached to a continent, but it has a
Right.
body of water on both sides of it, so it's almost
Right.
equivalent to an island. So yeah.
I mean, it's a puzzle piece. That when you put it together, there's it clicks. You know what I mean? It's like a puzzle piece. But I'm in. When you look at the map and when you're flying over, you can see the Jamaica, the Cuba, all of these little islands, these little specks and whatnot, these speckle islands. If I feel like they were attached to a larger body of land and whatnot, and that land is definitely underwater. you know but yeah, Florida, somebody had asked me the other day, they were like, the energy, the conscious energy, it moves and whatnot. There's like I won't call it necessarily an egregor, more so than I would call it like a moving energy. Like, hip hop has a moving energy. It goes from coast to coast in different regions. And
Mhm.
then they were like, when it comes to consciousness, yeah, we know what New York represents and everything, but that energy moved. And then they say it moved to Atlanta. And then I was asked by Richie Moon, he was like, where else do you think it is permeating from? I'm like, Miami, my nigga, Florida to be exact, because, that's the goddess energy more so.
Mm, mm,
And I
mhm,
was like, they don't even got to live in Florida or Miami. Just when they visit there, that shit is like a Tesla charge for them. That divine feminine energy, it works. It permeates through Florida. It exists. It's strong. So I was like, yes, that is a powerful grid. That's like a battery charge. So
hey,
yeah, because when I go there, my DNA upgrades. Even
like
my
no,
mother be called. Yeah, when I go there, my mom's will hit me like, "You need to stay out there. I don't know what you coming back for." I'm like, "Ma,
yeah,
chill, I'm charged." But yeah,
yeah,
it's a charge. It's a great place. The creation of wealth is easier in that environment. It is an environment of abundance, wealth creation. You're able to think clearer, and you're surrounded by wealth, which helps your third eye. It helps your creativity. It helps your faculties.
hmm that's a fact. Yeah, and down the line, that's what we want to do. We are speaking about building out labs earlier, but we want to, have places, in tropical areas where melanated people exclusively can go and charge up, and name it something. Name that specific island. We want to eventually start buying islands and
Yes.
inclusive for individuals like us so that we can go into an environment that's conducive for our biological nature, our mentality, because we got to be somewhere where the sun is out, 365 days out the year. I mean, that's bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately with me, I'm in the Midwest, so I experience the sun half the time of the year. But
Yeah.
uh, that's
It's
that's
brutal over there. I
yeah,
went
man.
to Kentucky. I was like, man,
Yeah, no,
you know.
yeah, no, it's deadly. Yeah, it's deadly out here. So yeah, being a fan, we're gonna pick up here eventually and move somewhere where the sun is out. But yeah, just for the family in general, yeah, that's conducive. That's necessary. You gotta be somewhere where the sun is out all year round.
Real talk, man. Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, Naples, all of that shit is charged up. It is all charged up. It all has a distinct energy to it. Shout out to everybody in the land of flowers, aka Florida.
Mhm.
Continue tapping in, continue to make strides, continue to create, continue to innovate, all of those things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. See, even little man is like, yeah, Florida, where we going? But it's a vibe. It's a vibe. You know what I
Uh,
mean? It's a
uh,
vibe.
and
So
I'm yeah.
we gonna wrap it up because we gotta get ourselves ready for the 11 o'clock marker.
Mhm.
You smell me? Do you want to leave the audience with anything?
Yeah, I mean, for those who haven't purchased their tickets, the link is in my bio. The link is in Red's bio. I don't know if do we put it in the chat. It might be
It's
in the.
it's in the description of this video.
Oh,
The KTL University is right there, so you actually could just go there. We're also launching our book club today for anybody that's been asking. I get a lot of emails about the book club and whatnot. That's also being rolled out today on this on during this window. I feel like the best way to consecrate the book club is by launching it on the eclipse and the new moon. So that's also going to be taking place, and you'll find that on KTLUniversity.com. I look forward to you brothers launching conversations with the cosmos. I feel
mm,
like that we're gonna do a book reading with that I mean, I got a glimpse of it, and that shit is cutting edge. It's the illest book that I've seen in a very long time. So salute to you and Blue Pill. But yeah,
mhm. Yeah, with that being said, family, tap in, make sure you get your tickets. The show starts, or the class rather starts, at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. And yeah, again, it's a class, so it's broken up. So much information that I want to give the family all at one time, but we gotta break it up, in the section. So that's what the class is for. And we'll be demonstrating this, like Red said, at least once a month. But we're gonna get down to where we're doing it, every other week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited, and I'm ready to go. So
no doubt, no doubt. I share the sentiments of my good brother. You feel me? Days like this when we're teaching the students and whatnot, when we're holding class, those are special days for me. And I just look. I'm a student as well. Like, let's be clear. I'm a student. I'm also in the audience. Taking notes, getting these downloads, upgrading my information. You know what I mean? Upgrading my knowledge and whatnot, taking it all in. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to the supporters. Thank you to the brothers and sisters who the students, the KT aliens who got their ticket and who always pull up and whatnot. We appreciate you. We honor you, and we just know we don't hope, we will, that it is helping to transform you and changing you into a better student at life, you know what I mean, and a better practitioner of the sciences and whatnot. And yeah, that's where it's at.
it's a fact. So yeah, family, tap in 11 a.m. Yeah, let's get this information.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed, family. So with that being said, inshallah, we will see y'all on Melanin Monday. You know what I mean? We'll be tapping back in on Monday with a whole new episode with new information, with new purpose and new direction. We'll be in the month of May. You know what I mean? So yeah, with that being said, love and light. All
Love and
right.
light.
Love and light.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. All right, all right. Peace from Mississippi. All right. Peace, Mississippi. We see, is that David Banner? Nah, but peace, y'all. I see y'all in class.